Time for a little soul surgery.
Stay away from the lake. That campground's cursed. Got a death curse on it, yes sirree. Stay away from the lake. That campground's cursed. Got a death curse on it, yes sirree.
We heard a loud crack sound out from the baseball field. You know, the one that's supposed to be abandoned. So we went out there on a dare. Seriously, I know you probably don't believe me, but I've never done anything impure. I'm still a virgin. Seriously, I know you probably don't believe me, but I've never done anything impure. I'm still a virgin. Seriously, I know you probably don't believe me, but I've never...
Jacob Baggins. Boy, was he a handful. According to the FBI, he's wanted for 39 murders committed over the past 20 years. And 34 of them were baseball-related. They managed to capture him once, but then he destroyed a prison van and 2 police cars and escaped into the night.
Yes, I'll admit that he did possess monstrous strength.
Apparently he grew up near a lake in New Jersey and was raised by his mother. Perhaps the landscapes here reminded him of his hometown.
What are you talking about? This is America. Baseball fields are a dime a dozen in this country.
But the document stated this baseball field was closed up after an accident happened near it, right?
An accident?
One hot summer day, a boy ran off the field in pursuit of a long fly ball and ended up falling into the lake. Apparently, the camp counselors were so busy trying to get lucky with one another that no one ever noticed.
Well, you'd be hard-pressed to come up with a more human summertime story than that.
I don't see what's so funny about this. The following year, while preparing the field for more baseball, the groundskeeper found a mountain of corpses in the grass. The police claimed the bodies were those of the counselors who'd abandoned the boy and a college girl who'd once seduced him.
Claimed?
Every last one of their faces had been smashed beyond recognition by a blunt object, most likely a metal bat. Ever since then, similar serial murders have occurred near that baseball field every several years or so.
Intriguing.
Perhaps there's some sort of link between that dead boy and this monster.
You think that monstrous baseball nut came all the way here to avenge the death of a boy whose misfortune simply happened to mirror his own?
Yeah, I suppose it's a bit too far-fetched.
Not necessarily. The witch is known to abuse powerful emotions like that.
Really?
Yes, having faced her twice myself, I know what I'm talking about.
Hi, I'm Stanley, and I have a big treat for you, and I know it's going to be a big treat for me. I'm here with one of the top talents in the comic book business, Jim Lee. Jim, it's great to see you.
How do you do, Sam?
Listen, you know, the old gag about our parents are the only ones who can tell us apart, right? My namesake over here,
Right.
And I'm proud of it. Jim, before we get into the artwork and the things that everybody wants to see, I just want to know a little more about you. Don't ask me why, but where are you originally from? How did you get here? How were we lucky enough to have you?
Oh, boy. Well, basically, I was born in Seoul, South Korea. We moved here when I was 5, and I remember drawing from, from the moment I can remember anything. I just remember I was 4 or 5, and I had a woman as a tutor, and she would teach me how to draw. And
You had a
pastel.
tutor who taught you to draw?
Yeah,
when you were 4 or 5?
I remember working in oil pastels, and she said, start with a, light yellow crayon, and work on with darker values and things like that.
Wow.
I still feel I use that knowledge today. And then, I took a lot of high school classes and things like that. I've always drawn and been pretty good at that. And then, as I got older and I had to be more serious about my life, I never really intended to become a comic book artist. I went to college and got a degree in psychology, and I was actually a pre-med when I was there, and something just didn't gel right. And
I'm sorry you said you had a degree in psychology. I was feeling so nice and relaxed talking to you. Now I'm going to be all nervous and watching everything. I'm talking to a psychologist.
That was biopsychology, experiments of rats and stuff.
Is that what it is? Biopsychology?
Well, there's I don't want to get too much into it, but there's cognitive and all these different fields within psychology.
That's
and
great. But you finally went legitimate and got into comics,
well,
right?
Yeah, exactly. What happened was my senior year, you have to write a thesis to graduate, and to ease up on my workload, I took some drawing classes. I figured I can draw, and there's no homework or anything like that. It'll be a breeze.
Yeah.
And I found that those were probably the best classes I took at college. And my teacher was very encouraging and said, "Have you ever thought about an art career?" And that kind of got the idea in my head, and so after I graduated, I told my parents I was going to take a year off before I applied to medical school. The idea of 4 more years of school and all this training did not really appeal to me, and so I put together some artwork, and I went to a convention. I showed it to some editors at Marvel, and I got work. It took about 4 months. I was pretty fortunate.
Pretty lucky for us that you went to a Marvel editor. I mean, you might have gone to just an ordinary person.
The funny thing is that they were the only ones that gave me work. I showed it to a lot of smaller companies in DC and
That's
stuff.
why they're smaller companies.
That's right. There you go, Stan.
Well, that's really great. Yeah.
So ever since then, it's just been a roller coaster ride, and like this year has probably been the biggest year yet.
And now, do you mind if I tell the people why this is one of the biggest years yet? This is really such an incredible fact. It's hard to believe. Years ago, and over the years in the comic book business, if a book sold 500,000 copies, or 750,000, or 1,000,000 copies for a comic book, I mean, that was phenomenal. Well, this man, Jim Lee, did the highest-selling, illustrated the highest-selling comic book of all time last year. He did X-Men #1, and Jim, I can't even tell him how many copies that book sold.
I think we sold about 8.2 million copies. That was the latest count.
8.2 million copies of one comic book, and Jim, you've got to show the book.
Well, we're still counting the results from Idaho and stuff. We got a lot of late straggler buyers. This is 3 of the 5 covers. I guess the other 2 are sold out. But they're all X-Men #1. They're all released in August of 1991.
Even Jim can't get them all. Now, I think you better explain what you mean by 3. Usually you do a comic book and it has 1 cover.
Right.
What happened over here?
Well, basically, recent history has shown that when they produce a #1 comic, especially of a popular title like Spider-Man or X-Men, there's a very strong response from the audience, the collectors and the readers. They'll buy multiple copies because they like it so much and they see it as an investment. So there was a feeling that they knew they were going to sell millions of copies going into it, and the feeling on everyone's part was, why not give them something extra? Instead of getting the same comic, we can give them different covers, and each issue actually has a different middle section, a different poster.
I'll be done.
So there's like different things in each one.
Let's see that poster, and let's see this poster.
Let's check out all the posters.
And hold it up long enough and give the camera time to get on it, because this
I'm a novice
is really
to this here.
interesting. These are 2 separate posters, the same book, but different editions of the same book,
Right.
wherever the camera is. I hope I'm holding these the right way. And here's a 3rd poster here, right?
Right.
And there were actually a couple more that you don't have with you.
Right, the special edition had an inside poster and a little
Look at that.
sketchbook in the back and everything.
And they're all different. Wait a minute, isn't this the same as
No, the poster is
Am I
is in
showing
the
the
middle.
wrong one?
Yeah, there's like a middle ad here. So anyway, this is the poster here.
This is why they moved me out to the coast. I do things wrong occasionally. That's the poster, okay.
Yeah. So anyway, and also the covers line up to make one larger image. This is getting a little tricky. It's
Oh, that's great.
It's one of these.
You want me to help you?
Yeah, it's one
Where
of
does
these.
this one go?
Right,
You mean this would be one picture? if you put
right,
them
right.
together?
And there's one more cover, and
There's probably something in between these two. Or
no,
is it-
it's supposed to line up. I think.
Oh, it does,
Yeah,
because
see,
there's,
right,
the horizon line of the
right.
rocks, and it comes
Right.
together. You're absolutely right. These
Right.
line up.
Right.
That's great.
Multifunction comics.
Yeah. That's great, he says modestly, of our books. Anyway, as I say, it's a staggering feat to sell over 8 million
Over 8 million.
copies of one thing, and the multiple covers, of course. Now, what are you doing currently, Jim?
Well, I'm still working on the X-Men. I think I'm on issue 8 or 9, something like that.
You mean after selling 8 million copies, we haven't fired you? We're still letting you hang around?
Yeah, I don't know. You know,
Aren't we nice to you? Yeah.
they got to cut back. Basically, kickback. What am I saying? Cut back. Basically, I'm plotting and drawing the book. A plotter is sort of a guy that comes up with a story but doesn't supply the dialogue. And so the concepts and the new characters and the new villains are created by me. And then
You've gotten so much into the series with the illustrating it that
Right.
now you want to contribute the story also.
Right.
So do you work with the writer and the editor and you say, this is the story I would like? I want
Right.
you to know, I ask
No.
you these things as if I don't know,
Right,
but
right.
I don't want people to
You
think I'm
started all
really
this.
this
Come on, yeah,
ignorant.
right.
But I feel it's the way to do it,
Right.
you know?
No, I usually will talk with the editor, Bob Harris, first, and we talk about possible story ideas. He goes, no, yes. And I go, okay, we'll go with that, and I'll flesh it out some more. And then I'll oftentimes talk to the scripter, the writer, who's going to supply the dialogue and tell them what's going to happen and get their input. And I, you know, there are people in the studio I work with that I ask them for input. Pretty much anybody and everywhere. You know, the fan mail that comes in, I read it and I'm affected by what they say. You know, this character should die, and I go, well, maybe they're right. You know, so I try to be in tune to what the audience wants and to what my editor wants. At the same time, try to put my own creativity in there, my own tell my own stories.
You know, the funny thing is, we always feel one of the things I'm happy about at Marvel Comics is we do read the fan mail, every
Oh, yeah.
letter.
Oh, yeah.
And sometimes it can be funny, like with Spider-Man for years, 50% of the fan mail used to say, you've got to kill Aunt May. We hate Aunt May. We're tired of Aunt May. The other, and we'd print those letters, and
Right.
then the other 50% of the fan mail would say, if you kill Aunt May, we're
Right,
never going to buy
right,
another
right.
copy again. So you have to use your own judgment, too.
Right.
But it's great to see what the readers want, and man, they sure let us know, don't
Oh,
they?
definitely. It's great getting the mail.
Let me ask you another thing, Jim. You were talking earlier, and actually, I've known you, but we haven't really had that much of a chance to talk before, so I found this fascinating. You were showing me something that impressed me so much. You also know a lot about meme, don't you? Or mime. I'm always saying, you know,
Right
before I said the word, I say, I've got to say it right. I'm not going to say mime, that's probably wrong. It is mime.
Right.
It's from pantomime, that's how I'm going to
Right,
remember.
it's one of those French
Pantomime.
things, yeah.
But somebody told me in France they say meme.
Right.
So if this tape goes to France, I'm correct. and
Harry,
you're
I
really-
mean, I don't know why they get into that whole
Anyway,
different
but-
pronunciation.
But show us a little bit about that, because
Well-
you did a little before, and it was really great.
Well, I like to use it. I took a class in college, a sort of extracurricular sort of thing, and
When you should have been doing your psychology.
right. And what they do in mime is they have a thing called tick and tack. I think it's been a while, but it's the ability to create an illusion of weight or resistance when there's nothing there. And I actually think you can use a lot of those techniques, or at least the thinking behind it all, when you're drawing the comic books, because to create a successful book, and we'll go over there and I'll show you some stuff.
I can't wait.
Okay, you gotta take things to the extreme. You gotta if a guy's big and frightening, he should be huge. If a car is like skidding around a corner, the wheels should be coming up and smoke should be flying and papers should be flying. And the thing is, these are all little. You have to put clues and ciphers in to create the illusion of speed, of momentum, or whatever. And mime is sort of the same thing. You want if something is heavy, you want to see it on the face, and you want to see it in their arms and the way they hold their back and stuff. So if there's like a wall in front of you, you have this moment of total relaxation, and then as you press up against the wall, you create tension in your arm. So it's been a while. So and so if you have like a rope or something, this is another example. So if you're picking up a rope, you would grab it like this, right? And then pull like that, and you can see where the shoulders go, and where
every
the
part
weight,
of your body
right.
is moving.
So if someone's pulling on this rope, you would feel it in the head, and all these things will
That's
move
wonderful.
as the things as changes happen. And the thing is, there's no one pulling on this rope or whatever. I have to create the illusion of someone pulling on that rope, and that's what we do with comics. Is you have to create the illusion of characters jumping and hitting each other, or lifting a car. They just can't lift it like this unless they're incredibly strong, and that's the impression you want to get. But they should feel it, and there should be sound effects, and their face should be grimacing, and things like that.
Oh, man, that was great. I used to put the sound effects in on the strips when I did. That was the thing I enjoyed the most. I lettered them in myself.
Right.
And I used to try to do them phonetically. I'd make up my own funny sounds. And once, I did a little caption that I was most proud of. I did a sound effect, something like Garumph. And I had 3 O's, G-U-R-O-O-M-P-H.
Right.
And I put a little asterisk, and on the bottom of the panel I wrote, obviously the 3rd O is silent. We got more mail on that. But what you just did is great, because basically it seems to me that every artist is really a director. You're directing your own script, and you've got to be that way. You're working with actors.
Right.
The only thing is you're working with actors that you have drawn, and I see that's even part of the
Actually,
note I have here. And can you give
Yeah,
any
sure. I can
examples?
show you. As far as the directing goes, you want to.
That camera is hungering for an example.
All right, here we go. Example 1. This is a Xerox of a layout I did, and essentially it just tells the story, and it's very simple. It blocks out the figures, and it identifies the characters. And I do just very quick gesture outline drawings, nothing too detailed, because at this point I'm just thinking about telling the story clearly, and also
and where it'll appear on the page.
Right. And so, yeah, you are a director. You say to this guy, Sabretooth, you don't look frightened enough. Why don't you grimace a little more, and we'll put some sweat, beating up on your face or something like that, and then we'll maybe put some action lines. There are ways to sort of accentuate the drama or the tension. So the final image looks sort of like this.
That's a heck of a difference.
Yeah, well, I put a little more work into this. So, but the thing
and
is,
there he is
there
with
he is.
much more of a grimace than he had right over there, right?
Right.
But you knew by doing that.
That's my
this is the
shorthand.
way you wanted
Right.
it to
That's sort of
end up.
my shorthand grimace. So when
Yeah.
I go back days later and actually draw it, I go, you should be grimacing. And then I put all the special effects really short with shorthand here. And then later I'll go in and put a lot more lines and broken glass flying and all that stuff. That's sort of like special effects. But as far as the directing, this is where it all happens as far as a comic book goes. Because you're telling stories. That's what it all comes down to.
When you say shorthand, that's a pretty good example, because basically, I guess, the original rough layouts you make, that is shorthand.
Right.
And it's just little notes so you know what happens, and then you go back and you put it in.
Right.
You put it in English, or in drawings in this case.
In many ways, the final drawing is actually not tedious, but it's just icing on the cake.
Yeah.
But the hard part comes in doing this stuff.
Well, I don't know. You're keeping me in suspense, and we're probably keeping our viewers in suspense. But I would say in about 3 minutes, we're going to get over to that drawing board, and you're really going to show how you do it. Let me ask you one question, though. How do you go, in your own mind, how do you go from the basic idea to the completed artwork? What goes on in your head as you do it? In 2 words.
Right. Well, I visualize it, then I draw it.
Take 3 minutes.
All right. Well, when I read a story, or if I'm coming up with a story idea, I try to think since it's pictures, I try to think of images. What would be a good image? Locations and settings and things like that. You don't want the standard backgrounds and buildings. You want something fantastic. You want
Absolutely.
You want to excite the readers with stuff they've never seen before. So when it's hard to do this, of course. So I sit there and I kind of close my mind, or especially if I'm in the shower, I just let my mind wander, and I play the comic book in my head, and I see the characters run and down the hall, and I hear the dialogue and the special effects. It's like a little mini movie. And then when I get to that stage, that's when I start sitting down and jotting stuff down, and then moving scenes around and things like that. And then I would go from that and actually start doing the breakdowns like this, and hopefully it all fits within 22 pages. Otherwise, you're in trouble.
Now, there are many artists in the business who can draw a strip.
Right.
But the kind of guy who can sell 8 million copies, he can draw it in such a way that every panel is exciting, and that whatever you're showing the ultimate of that. So it really gets to you. And instead of me talking, we're now going to show you drawing it. Okay. Why don't we go over there and do some artwork?
All right, sure.
I mean, I would like to do it, but since you're the guest, I'll let you do it this time.
All right.
All right?
If you insist.
Why not? Listen, Jim, before we get started with the real heavy stuff, okay?
Right.
I think people might like to know, before you start drawing a strip, what is it you do? Do you do any mental gymnastics, any warming up? How do you approach it?
I do, I'll do things like the equivalent of jumping jacks or something. Just loose little doodles, not finished drawings by any stretch.
Like, for instance?
Like, for instance, you're right, I should get to that. I'll just go in and I'll just go, okay, I'll just draw a couple hands, maybe they'll only have 2 fingers, they'll save me a little time here. And
Only 2 fingers, eh?
Yeah,
Okay.
well, a lot of characters have 2 fingers.
You make them look so good, the 2 fingers look right.
Right, and then I'll go, okay, I'm
But
done.
you lie to us, that's only 1 hand.
Oh, you're right. Well, then, I'll do that, and then maybe I'll have like a fist or something like that. Just these are things that you'll use later when you do a finished page, and just like little bits to practice on. Practice your foreshortening. Let's say this is a guy's.
Foreshortening, that's when it's coming right toward the reader, right?
Exactly. The illusion of depth in a 2-dimensional plane here. It's okay. You got, and then do that kind of thing. Or
these are just rough warm-up sketches.
Right,
huh?
right. Just to get comfortable with the materials again. So you know that you haven't forgotten how to draw, because that is a fear amongst a lot of artists. Is like you wake up in the day and go, I've forgotten how to do it.
I mean, you might wake up one morning, my God, I can't draw anymore.
Something like that, yeah. I mean, because really, you don't know why you can draw better than the next guy, or whatever. So yeah, I'll just go in there and I'll just practice some of the things I do, like eyes and eyebrows and hands. And
then you gain the confidence. You say, hey, I can still draw.
Yeah, you warm up and you prime the pump. That's what they say. And that way, when you get down to the finished piece, you're not as stiff. The characters have a little more life to them, the drawings.
I wanted to ask you that. Do you find the drawing, there's a rhythm to it, and sometimes you just feel the rhythm?
Definitely. I think the most successful comic book artwork displays rhythm, because a lot of new kids, when they're starting out or whatever, there's a lot of stiffness in their drawings, and it's because they don't have the ability to do gesture drawings yet. And a gesture drawing is simply just trying to capture.
You better use that dark one, because that doesn't show to the camera, I think.
Oh, well, this is what I would want kids to do, is just something real quick like this, which is, it's a gesture, it's a movement, it's very abstract, okay? And then I would use that gesture in my final drawing, trying to capture that movement in that figure. And the way I approach it is, I look at their chest, and their chest cavity has a certain shape. That's the socket for the shoulder there. And then their pelvis has a certain shape like that. And so the leg sticks into that slot, right?
It's fascinating, because when you first look at this, I have no idea what I'm looking at. And then after you join and connect a few lines, I can see the figure.
Well, that's the thing. It's not a mysterious process. It's just a bunch of lines in relationship to one another, creating the illusion of an object.
Wow.
And so.
But when you drew this, you knew what this was, and in your mind you knew this was coming.
Yeah, when I drew the pencil line that served as sort of the guide for what I'm doing now, yeah, I knew it was a guy throwing something or punching something or maybe flying. I don't know. It's one of those. It's one of those things like.
Jim, that's terrific.
Right, and then you put the head in here. Okay, so then I put the other arm down here. Okay, and then we'll blacken in this forearm here to create a little depth, so it's going back there, and maybe cast a little shadow here. All right, so you got the guy. Put a couple ribs here, tricep, elbow, whatever.
Do you know the names of all the muscles and so forth?
No, actually I don't. I'm not that good with the actual anatomy like that. I was never, it's like reading the dictionary looking at those anatomy books, because they just show the muscles in a natural, unflexed state. They're very stiff. You can learn how to do that, but when figures move, you don't see all those muscles like that. They change shapes and dimensions. So I was much more into an artist named George Bridgman, and his stuff dealt more with with the shapes of body parts and how they interacted and how their interactions created movement within the character. So like this guy.
Like,
boom.
for instance.
All right, like for instance.
I'm going to keep you.
All right, okay.
Sorry.
Like for instance, an arm. I can think of like, actually I do know some of the names, but you got the, well, I don't know what that is. I forgot. I've drawn a blank.
It belongs there
Here's the
right?
bicep. Here's the tricep.
Yeah.
I think this is the deltoid. Is that right? I don't know. Then you got the forearm muscles here, and I've separated everything. And these are the shapes. And if you had to do one of those like computer design grids or something, you can sort of see what the this is more like the biceps more like a football, and this is more of like a sort of a triangular piece here.
And at some point you're going to draw
Like,
lines and it'll come together and it's
right.
really going to look like
Well,
something.
yeah, they're like sausages, and you stick them all together like that. So, you know, boom. That would be.
So when
arm.
you're drawing this, are you thinking this?
Oh, all the time. I think I see even though I don't have these grid lines, I see this shape as having a volume like that, and this having a volume like that. And it's very easy that way. Once you know the shapes and volumes, you can put them all together and you can do the complex foreshortening. Because, for example, if you had like a saucer, and then you had a, I don't know, round shape like this, and maybe like a cone shape like this, and a triangular thing like that, if you kind of stack these on top of each other and do an upshot of that, you can draw an upshot of anything, I mean, a human figure, because basically the human figure is a series of different shapes like these put together. So let's put these all together and we'll do an upshot. So we'll see mostly the saucer from the bottom. We'll see a little bit of this, you know, draw through here for everybody. And then we'll put that cone up there, and then the triangle on top, and create a little depth like that, right? So now, if you can do that, you can do like a human face in perspective.
I could do the Mona Lisa once I get that.
You know, you find that break it down to the simple shapes like the cylinder for the head and the neck and whatever. And
Now you're looking up at that face. This
Right.
is under the chin, right?
right. Kind of a.
Just want to impress everyone what a wizard I am in perspective.
All right, so you got that going. Give him some hair. Right, and to me, I see the triangular shape of this nose, and the structure of the cheekbones, like that, and the cylinder shape of the whole head, and how the ears stick out here, and the cylinder shape of the neck. Right, so if you can do something like this, I think it's a little more complex, but it's the same kind of ideas, and that way I can draw a head looking down on it, you know, because you have the nose just stick out like that. I can do it from the side, any angle I choose. And so, in a sense, in my head, I've constructed the image, and then I can move my eye around the image and then draw it. Like if I have a side shot of a car, usually I can draw from any angle just by kind of extrapolating what the rest of the car looks like. So
It looks to me as if you can draw something and you could start at any point. I mean, if you want to draw a figure, you could probably start with the big toe and work your way up.
yeah, probably.
Or with the ear and work your way down.
What I wouldn't recommend doing that without first putting
That little rough.
That rough, because that way, if you start with the toe down here and you draw, you might find that the head goes off the page, and that's a common thing with kids. They start drawing and without thinking about the space they're drawing in and whether the drawing is going to fit on that page or not.
Well, let's talk comic books.
Right.
Let's do the shape of a panel, and let's see, how would you handle, you're going to do a panel.
Right.
Okay?
Let's say this is the panel.
All right, this whole thing is the panel.
Right. And
All
a panel, it's one of those pictures that you see in a comic
All right,
book.
now you want to draw, let's make something up.
Okay,
right
go
now.
ahead. Shoot.
You want to draw, and this has not been rehearsed. In fact, I hope I can think of something that you
all right.
want to draw. So you want to draw a superhero
Right.
who is chasing a supervillain.
Right.
And the supervillain is holding the superhero's girlfriend hostage. He's
Right.
captured her.
Right.
He's trying to escape. The hero is trying to get him.
Right.
And the
This
villain...
is from Spider-Man 129.
It very well might be.
I think you did this.
And the villain, wait a minute, it's not that easy. The villain is just about to jump out of the window with the girl because the villain can fly, and the hero has to get to him before he gets out of the
okay. So
window.
we're doing it from the outside of the building. All right. Okay, well, that's
No, it could be from the inside or
inside.
the-
Okay.
that's
Whoa,
up to
boy.
you.
Okay. All right. Well, what I think of first is I visualize a setting. Let's just say an office or something like that.
Okay.
Right. Now you can't see this, but let's see.
You got to use that light pencil that the camera can't see. do
Right.
you?
Right.
Okay.
Well, otherwise you're just gonna have all these lines. You're not gonna be able to tell
Okay.
when I come in with the marker and stuff. All right. I'm gonna do something
Everybody
very
be patient. He'll be there with the marker ready.
Right. I'm going to do something very clear, which is a straight-on perspective shot. And
I mean, looking right at it. You're not up there and you're not down here. Okay.
Well, the vanishing point, I don't get too technical, but the vanishing points are like this, and we're looking straight on this wall. The wall's not at an angle to us. All right, so let's say we put the hero here. We put him in the foreground like this, and to create a depth within the character. We have him in the foreground. We're going to have maybe some furniture or something in the middle ground, and then we'll have the villain about to jump out the window there in the background there. And actually, even in the extreme background, we might even put some more skyscrapers. Actually, to establish the fact that they're in a city, we'll just put another window here, and we'll put a bunch of buildings.
Gotcha. Right?
So we got him over here, and is the damsel in distress. Although it could be a guy in distress, and this could be a superheroine.
That's right. They can be anything.
In today's world.
But you'd better do it the way I told you.
Right, because I never want to deviate from the writer's script there. Okay, so I've got that. This is it. Now
you've made your rough layout, and you know now where everything goes, and nothing will go off the page or off the panel.
From this point on, I can relax now because all the work has been done.
The thinking has been done.
Right.
And you don't like to think, so that's over.
Right. So let's say start over here.
I didn't mean that. Now we get the black pencil and everybody can see. This will be fun.
Okay, let's see. Well, we don't have. Okay, I'll start with the ear. A lot of times I'll start with.
Yeah, you've always been big at ears.
Yeah.
They talk about that in the bullpen. All right.
All right, and that's the muscle of his neck there, and then okay.
This is the hero you're doing, who's in the foreground.
Right. He's got a big manly chin.
Oh, is he ever? Yeah.
And maybe we'll put like some lines. That's a shorthand for like
He's tense and excited.
He's tense. He's worried. Whatever. Okay, we'll give him some hair here.
If it were an idea, there'd be a light bulb over his head.
Absolutely. Okay, I'll give him some hair.
It's funny, even with that short sketch, he looks powerful and somewhat handsome. Even as rough as it is.
I give him a real thick neck and pretty much the I guess Roman features, which is sort of a bigger brow, a jutting chin.
Well, you're lucky I'm sitting here, so you have sort of a model.
Oh, there you go. Right.
Okay.
Okay, and then we got the shoulder here. Mm-hmm. And then, I don't know, tricep. I think that's what it is.
You're good at elbows too. I've been noticing that. You know, you make it look so easy. That's the thing that really is amazing.
Actually, it comes with practice. You know, I've drawn this a lot. I mean, hundreds of times.
Not this one picture.
No, but this kind of angle.
I know.
You know, every time I do a new shot, it takes a little more time. But generally, after the amount of work we do is very labor intensive. So after a while, you find that you've just drawn everything. You know.
Yeah, there's probably very little that I could suggest that you haven't drawn in some form or other, right?
Yeah, I've done a lot of different kinds of story. I've done aliens and outer space and inner city and ghettos and all that stuff. And we'll give him a cape.
Okay, well, he's a superhero.
He's getting close to looking like someone.
I know.
But we'll give him a glove. There we go. All right.
All right.
And then
now
maybe
he's not Superman anymore,
right?
Now you can mention it. It's all right, as long as it isn't him.
Right. And then we'll put like a diamond thing that's just a design element or something like that. And then maybe a little rendering here. Okay. And then we'll put some back muscles in here, and then maybe a belt, and maybe the leg like that.
I've always been good at drawing belts because apparently it's just two lines.
That's right. But what I see with that is there's a cylinder here. There's like a disc.
Like you were talking before.
Right,
everything is
right,
a basic shape.
Right. And I've all these muscles here. All these muscles here have
of which you don't know the names of.
No, well, the arm ones are pretty simple. You know, those are the ones that hurt.
Well, you said
in
tibia
PE.
earlier. That really impressed me. Well, you said something like that, tricep or something.
Tricep, right?
You can see what an expert I
Right,
am.
but like the back muscles, I have no idea what they do. But I'm not one of these guys that's a real stickler that you have to put every muscle in there. I think the most important thing is the shape of the form, the shape of an arm, the shape of these various things and how they interact with one another. Okay, so now we got him here, and actually maybe we'll put his hand here, right?
Could you do me a favor? Could you give him a little beard, even though he's a hero?
Well, maybe
just so that in no way does he look like any character that we may be familiar with.
Right. Well, you know what? I'll tell you what. We'll put a little stubble here.
Attaboy.
There we go. Stubble's in these days anyway. All right.
That's great.
Okay.
Now he looks villainous, but that's okay, because today's heroes, many of them are rugged
the
They
ambiguous
don't look
hero.
all that hero.
And I'll tell you what,
Yeah.
we'll get the bigger marker and we'll give him a superpower. Yeah, you can energize his fist. I don't know with what, but and we'll put here these. I call these Kirby crackles. I think you guys started. It creates the illusion or aura of energy.
That's absolutely right. Yeah.
And you can just go on for these forever. I mean, there are people that just will spend hours on this. But since we don't have hours, that's the shorthand here. And to make it seem like there is some movement where he's coming forward, I'm going to have this sort of trail back. See?
Oh, so you know the hand had come from
Right, right. And there's ways, if there was a guy here and he had walked through the room and he's smoking a cigarette, I'll show that smoke wafting through back. And so you can tell that story, you can show that he moved through the room without actually drawing.
It's interesting, Jim, the way you referred to this as shorthand, and this is shorthand. And in comic books, there are so many shorthand things that you do, these little dots and lines and speed lines that can tell a whole story without having to explain it.
Right.
I just felt I had to contribute something. To a little funny
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, if you distill it, all it is ciphers, you know, because there's no way you can replicate reality here, nor would you want to. Anyway, all right, now we got I'll jump to the villain, because since I've already mapped in the background, I don't have to worry that it's going to work or not.
You know it'll fit.
I know it's going to work, I think. So, okay, we'll give the evil guy the villain a cape, too. That way I don't have to draw as much of him. And,
that's right, because the cape hides a lot of the body.
You got it.
Smart.
Right, and you know what? I think I'll even have the cape. Not that I would recommend kids to do this, right? But, you know, make it move like that.
And from this comes 8.2 million sales, right?
Well, there are a lot of people that helped. You know, Chris Claremont, the writer, and the whole Marvel marketing machine. You know, Marvel's very successful in the comics marketplace. They know what they're doing.
You get your payoff later.
Right.
Now, this is the villain who's got the girl.
Right. And you know what? We're going to give him a lot of armor.
Because he is one powerful villain.
Right, gauntlet. And we'll give him a couple spikes here to give the impression, a little fearsome aspect here. All right, and then, I could cheat here and just give him a big bubble for a head or something, but...
no, you're not going to do that.
No, okay, right,
Not with millions of people watching this tape.
Okay, since it's a smaller drawing, I'll have to go to a finer pen here to do the detail on this guy's face here. But let's do that, and because we're in the 90s and it's a little hipper, we'll give him a ponytail, and the thing, what I really think makes for successful comics is pushing things to the extreme, like taking it over the top, taking things to the logical extreme. If there's a villain, he's got a ponytail, that hair should be blown in the wind, you know? And it should be longer than humanly possible or sanitarily possible. So we give the
Or cosmetically possible.
Right. And then we'll give him this evil grimace.
I hope the camera can catch that. I hope that's dark enough, because that's really coming along beautifully.
Kind of, okay.
Now, in comics, when you draw, even though the books are in color, you draw in black and white, right?
Right,
All our
right.
artists work in black and white, and then the coloring is done later by someone else, usually by someone else.
And because he's a villain, we'll give him a mask or something like that.
Villains really very often have masks, don't they? That's another
So
bit of
that no one will
shorthand.
know. Right.
You know they're a villain.
That's right.
Unless it's a hero with a mask, then you totally confuse the reader.
Okay.
And villains also have big thighs, huh?
Big thighs, big boots,
Makes them powerful.
big egos.
Right.
That's why they always lose. Sounds good to me.
That's your psychological training.
That's right.
coming in
That's
there,
right. Absolutely. Okay. All right. Now we got the damsel in distress
Oh,
here.
yeah. I'm waiting to see her.
And let's say she's the
Press
secretary.
down hard enough so that everybody can see her.
Right.
We're waiting for her.
All right.
Get a nice dark pen.
All right. We'll make her the secretary of this guy, whose secret identity, I guess. He's a businessman, and this is his secretary.
He looks like your typical businessman.
That's right. And
no doubt about that.
And he's secretly in love with her.
You not only draw the picture, you get a whole story in your mind when you do it. Huh?
Well,
That's the best. That's the best.
I think the more successful artists will think more than just, I'm going to draw this guy's story or whatever. They're gonna put more of their own personality into it and what they think would be neat in the story.
I notice you have the villain miming. You're putting a little of your personality in.
Okay, and then she's gonna have this mini dress here.
Well, there she is. You've almost got her.
Yeah.
Son of a gun.
And then I'm gonna take this pen so I can do the finer detail of her face. I'll give her sort of a 90s short little bob there. Some earrings. She's got these lines too.
That's great.
Okay, and then, all right.
So you were able to do it. You've got the hero over here in the foreground.
Right.
You have, oh, I didn't want to interrupt you. You want to darken his ponytail.
Right, right. And then I'm going to put this window here.
Uh-huh.
And of course, most skyscrapers, well, at least some of them, you can't open the window. So we'll establish part of the story right now. We'll say, look,
he broke the window.
Absolutely.
Attaboy.
Right, there we go. We'll put the glass
he's strong.
in here.
Even though it's unbreakable,
Right.
this guy can break it.
Right. And the thing about, I tell kids is be observant of everything. If you're in a dentist's office, look at it and try to remember what a dentist's office looks like, because you'll have to draw a dentist's office someday, and it's hard to find that kind of reference. You can just pull it from memory.
They're too busy trembling.
Right. So if I see broken glass or something like that, or a car that's destroyed, I'll look at it and see what kind of shapes and how the glass will break and the lines that you get out of that.
Well, you're known for your broken glass. And now I can see why.
And of course, you got to, to make it, you got to make it realistic.
The glass has to be on
right,
the floor.
Right,
Some would have
naturally,
fallen in,
right. Some outside,
Right.
Whatever. Okay, so we put some glass here, and then we'll put a table here in the middle ground, which is,
Basically, what you're talking about as you talk, as you draw, these are pretty much the thoughts that would go through a comic book artist's mind as he draws the strip. Then
you got to supply all the background stuff. You got to supply
make it look real.
You're the costumer, director, props guy. You have an unlimited budget. You just have time constraints. That's
great.
what it comes down to.
Now let me ask you, talking about making things look real, what do you think makes? There are so many comics. Some do better than others. What makes a successful comic? What's the difference?
I think it's putting the thought and care into it. A lot of people just want to draw heroes, or they just want to draw women, and they'll slough off on the backgrounds, or slough off on the storytelling, and you got to care about every aspect.
It's all got to be good.
Yeah, and I think all the guys that are very successful at it are the ones that have the passion to put the time in on every aspect of it. To the broken glass on the ground, and if I in the next panel I do a reverse shot of this, I'm going to make sure the backgrounds are as close as I can get to it. You just don't want to be sloppy with it, and you want to have that dynamic feel to it.
You know what might be interesting also? I think if we could grab another sheet of board now.
Sure.
Although I know you want to show off and how you draw skyscrapers in the background.
Well, let me hear your idea first, and then I'll stop.
It would be cute if you could draw two little panels.
Right.
One, what you might call the right way, and the other the wrong way. In other words, why is one successful and the other is just a drawing?
Right.
Now, I can't think of any particular pose at the moment. Maybe you can think of one. You're not going to let go of this. You're going to finish this.
No.
drawing
While
no
you're
matter
talking,
what.
I'm listening.
All right,
I'm listening.
I want you to be thinking also.
Right.
Okay?
Right. I'm thinking
Now,
already.
on the next sheet, when you finish this,
Right.
and after you've autographed it so that I can fight with everybody else to get it, on the next sheet, I want you to think of some very simple scene that you could draw quickly, and draw one version of it that would be adequate for most any other comic book company and with any other comic book artist, but then show how you would do it to make it really a powerful scene.
Right.
Can you do that, or am I asking?
No. I know exactly. I can do something.
I
real
finally
easy.
met somebody who understands what I said. That's really great.
Anyway.
Hey, that is really great.
Actually, to make it seem like there's glass here is a little technique.
Attaboy.
There we go.
And obviously, it's a modern building, so this is the built-in fluorescent lighting that's right in the ceiling.
Right, and I will put one there, but I think the word balloon would go there. So,
Okay.
or maybe we'll go here.
You know what everybody would like to see, says he cagily? How do you sign your name? People would love to see your signature, because when I steal this, I want it to be on there.
All right. How's that?
It's very legible.
Okay.
Okay, and people will have to kill to get this from me.
Okay.
Now, let's see what that next one is going to be.
2 panels, okay. Bum, bum, bum.
One is going to be adequate, you know, the kind that you might find that your beginning artist might do. And one will be a Jim Lee type.
Actually, you know, like we were talking earlier,
What is it we're showing?
I'm gonna have 2 guys talking to each other. Okay?
right.
It's a boring scene.
Right.
It's a talk scene.
Unless they're you and me, of course.
Absolutely. In this one, it's going to be very clear what's happening and everything, but it's not a shot, it's not an artistically pleasing shot. This one I'm going to play around with and create a little more depth in it and play around with the mood and put those little extra things which make those panels better.
gotcha.
Right. And actually, I picked this all up from the book you did with John Buscema, How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way. And so there's nothing real new here, but
But it's fun to see it.
okay, do your panel borders. Okay.
You're also known for your borders, I might.
What am I not known for? All right. Okay, so let's say we got
For being in a bad mood, I think.
All right. We got.
Now, these are the 2 men talking.
Right. You got a cigar here.
Now, it looks like he's standing. Is he leaning on a table?
Yeah, he's leaning. This is because it's so small. It's just going to be a little shorthand.
Fine. So we're really talking layout. We're going to see a good layout and a bad layout. Or inadequate layout.
Right. Well, this isn't awful. It certainly tells what's going on. It's very clear and everything. And actually, you might even want to do a panel like this to start with to establish a scene. I just, you know, I wouldn't do a whole story.
It quietly.
Right. I wouldn't do a whole story at this depth, which is a medium shot, at this kind of angle, which is straight on. But whatever.
Well, now I'm going to tell you something. I find that when an artist is really as good and as adept at as you, it is very difficult to draw something that isn't good. Because even though you're considering this fairly simple and uninteresting, I mean, that's really a beautiful layout, you know? It's concise, it's well balanced. But all right, now let's see how you're going to do to make it exciting.
All right, I guess basically his boss is bawling him out.
Yeah.
And from the gestures, I don't get that sense. You know, you might have written that the fat boss is bawling out his underling here.
Who is standing like this.
Right, and this
taking
this adequately takes it, tells the story, but it doesn't convey some of the emotional stuff that you want to carry through in your story. So in this one, I'm going to have the boss in the foreground. He's going to be much larger in the image, and he's going to be leaning in on the guy.
The baller is going to be much bigger than the ballee.
Right, and you can see I like to do a lot of stuff where I'm looking right behind the shoulder kind of thing. Right.
You don't have to draw as much. Now this is going to be a Jim Lee bawling out.
Right.
I mean, we're going to feel the pain of that guy who's being bawled out, right?
Right.
And of course, he's got a cigar with a lot of smoke coming out.
I don't know if when you're writing and stuff, whether you like sound out the sound effects or whatever. Because like when I'm drawing, I go, you know, whatever, and I always make the grimace of the character. So when I'm drawing,
absolutely,
yeah,
make the, even though I'm not drawing it, I'm making fate. My wife comes in all the time and says, "What's happening in here?" She hears the noises.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, and then he's got. And then this guy, to show that he's being flustered here, I'll have him reach in on his collar there. So he's got his finger in here.
Trying to loosen his collar because it's getting very tight all of a sudden.
It's getting tight. He feels the pressure. Hot in there. Yeah, absolutely, and the smoke is all over the place. And
that smoke is another little bit of your little shorthand.
Right. And I'll play with it and let it trail around like it's a living thing here. Because usually smoke just goes straight up. It's pretty boring. But you can take a license. You can take license with it and go, oh, okay, it's going to snake around like this.
Hi, heroes. I'm Stan Lee, but hold the applause. Listen, we have a real treat for you this time. I've got Rob Liefeld, and I don't seem to recall your name. Todd McFarlane, yes, we've met before.
Yes, sir.
Two of the best artists, writers in this business. And we have the rare opportunity of having them together, and we're going to do something that's never been done before. At least it's never been done before all these cameras. I'm going to throw, and I promise you, we haven't rehearsed this, I'm going to throw a name at them, and they're going to create a character based on what I tell them, and you better make it good. Okay, now I've got this name. I've been wanting to do a movie with this title. I never thought of it as the name of a character, but it occurs to me it's the kind of name I think you guys could play with. And the name is Overkill.
Oh.
Now, I'm hitting you with that. He's obviously got to be the roughest, toughest, meanest hero, if you will, ever done before. So you've got about 20 minutes. Give it your best. And be careful, because I'm watching every move.
Okay, what we'll do is we're going to try to do a collaboration. We'll be adding back and forth to it. And what we'll do is we'll try to explain our thinking on how we're coming across and why we're doing Overkill the way it is.
You can think and draw at the same time?
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
We've even talked. So what we'll do is Rob will start doing the outline, and because we're going to do this and put it in a comic book, I'll be working on the logo. So by the time he's got the outline, I'll be done with the logo, and then we'll start going from there.
For the uninitiated, of course, the logo is the lettering of the masthead. Now, here we go.
Okay, now I figured,
Rob and Todd.
Okay, now I figured if we're going to have Overkill, then the O in the Overkill, we'll make it as a gun sight.
Oh, cool idea.
So we'll have the gun sight in here, and we'll have the gun sight come up in here, and then after that I can do the rest of it Overkill. I'll probably break it up into 2 words. I'll make it over, and then I'll probably maybe slant the word kill on there, so that it kind of breaks it up and it's not one long read. Rob, are we going to make him thick, or are we going to make
we
him...
have the
this guy is
obligatory
thick.
strong heroic character
Okay.
over there, right?
He's got to be a guy. He's got to be huge.
Thick neck, broad shoulders.
Thickest neck.
Are you going to give him the
shoulders.
usual shoulder pads?
I don't know. I'm not real sure yet. What do you think, Todd?
I don't know. A Liefeld character without shoulder pads is almost naked.
I think if we got to have guns, we got to have...
Armor.
Armament.
Overkill.
Armor and armament.
Okay.
One thing that I think the kids also like is why don't we come in with the kids like chains, you know?
Okay,
because the
let's do
chains,
chains.
besides they look good when they're hanging, if they're hanging down here, he can always pick them up and whip people around with them. And especially if it's going to be Overkill, his equipment's got to be Overkill as well.
Oh, heck yeah.
Always
Okay,
remember, he's tough, but he's not violent.
Okay, along those lines already, he's got the biggest shoulder pads ever existed. It's like
I
this,
figured he would.
This chest plate and right here. Okay, it covers each shoulder and runs across the middle of his chest. Okay, you want to place chains on him? Oh, that's cool. Nice.
You know, I wish there were a way to prove to the audience that this really is something that you guys are ad-libbing right now, but you have to take my word
Believe
for
me,
it
we're ad-libbing it.
as a Marvel bullpenner that we've never done this before. We just decided to do this. We were in the studio, the guys were here, we said we have about a half hour to kill, let's have some fun. This is the first time they've heard the name Overkill, and they're just doing great. This character is really coming forth. I love that masthead.
And since your last video didn't go too good, you wanted to call it over-edit, but we're going to call it Overkill. And as a matter of fact, what we could do here is I'd probably make this a blood red right in here for the Overkill. We could even do something if we wanted. I don't have the time and the technology. We could have done something in eyesight in here. We could have had a reflection of maybe somebody with their eyes wide open or something like that. He's going to do the character here, and while he's doing that, I think what we'll do is, just to make him cool for a poster, we'll put some gunshot wounds back into the wall here.
Sounds good.
Terrific.
Okay, what do you think? Should he have hair or should he be bald? I'm
Make him bald.
He can be pretty tough-looking bald, can't he?
Yeah.
Oh, I think so.
Yep.
I think
I keep telling that
sign,
to myself as I keep losing my hair.
Definite sign of baldness.
And we,
Now, tell me what you think of his personality. I mean, because the way you draw him will obviously express his personality. How do you see a guy who looks like that and who's called Overkill?
Tough as nails.
he's tough. The guys that always scared me aren't the guys that really are psychotic killers, but the guys that are actually completely in control of what they do. Those are the guys, like the Joker's compared to, let's say, the Kingpin. The Kingpin kind of scares me more because he actually knows every single thing he's doing. So I'd like to see this guy right here with all the armor and stuff be a quiet guy, but know exactly what he's doing and have a reason for doing it.
Sort of my type. Quiet, but incredibly menacing all the time. I know what you mean. Yeah.
Okay, I'll tell you what I've done
Glad you
here.
mentioned the Kingpin, one of our favorite Marvel characters.
Okay, I'll tell you what I've done here. This, I've given him, building off your
You've
your
taken
gun
that?
sight and put
Great.
it right over his eye, right
Great.
here. And kind of a broader nose, again, the grimace on the face. I'm giving him a layer of like chainmail or armor down his neck, highlighting it right now.
Have you
And
noticed
Todd's
tough
gonna
guys
take-
very rarely have narrow noses?
This is true. The nose has been broken several times. Okay.
Now, how would you say his personality, I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but I'm just trying to put you on the spot. How would you say that his personality would be different from most of our other tough guys, like Wolverine and all of the others? And Cable.
See, as he pointed out, Wolverine's more of a psychotic. I like the idea that he's more in control, knows what he's doing, knows how to achieve it fast and quick.
So he's a little bit out of control?
Well, see, the
But
one
you had wanted him more
No,
in control.
he is control. No,
Oh,
he
he's
is
more in control.
See, one of the things you'll find too, Stan. I mean, you're the writer, bud. Is that
Good.
as the time goes on, the characters start to take a kind of a venue of their own. So maybe today, yeah, we say, well, he's going to be this and this and that, but we find that as we get into issue 6 or issue 7, he's leading us into this direction, and maybe we're going to change him, maybe we're going to add this to him, and you know how that goes. All of a sudden, it's like by issue 12, he's not what we started. The costume might be the same, but he himself personally, and I think that's part of the fun that
You're
the kids go for
absolutely
the
right.
ride with us, is that they can sit there and they can go, yeah, okay, well, we're going to go with the ride with Rob, we're going to go with the ride with Todd, because they look cool, but it's up to you, Stan.
Okay, I think along the lines of the name Overkill, I think he should be along somehow like he's a half man, half machine. He's fighting that inside. He's partly a cyborg. He's a combination of technology and brutality.
All right.
Ooh.
You know
We're
something?
getting a character.
We probably couldn't do this if you weren't right-handed and you weren't left-handed. There'd be no way to work it out
worked
so
out,
the
it
camera
worked
could
out.
catch it.
Okay, I've given him these spikes on the side of his armor that are off to the side, so nobody can get near this guy.
Great. I
Okay.
just thought of something fantastic. You know what we're going to
What's
do
that?
when we're finished?
What are we gonna do?
Both of you guys are going to sign this, and we're going to donate it to a charity auction.
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
Because I mean, this
we're
is
gonna,
really one of a kind.
And we're
isn't
going to
it?
put it out on the movie, and like the Teenage Ninja Mutant Turtles, and then we'll fight over it in,
Oh,
in
heck
5
yeah.
years from now.
And then we'll never
be in
talk-
court.
That's
We'll be in the
right.
tabloids.
Yeah, it's the last thing we need is a lawsuit.
Oh, there's no need to fight over it. It's obviously my creation, but you fellas were a great help, and I'm sure that
Whatever you
I'll
say,
see to
Sam.
you get some sort of credit.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna give him some big knee pads here, because a guy like him that's got some armor and got some guns and
Has to
stuff
have
like
knee
that
pads.
is gonna go down. He's gonna go in any position that he's gonna want to go to. So if he's got some protection on his knees, he's gonna basically be like a gauntlet. He can throw himself all over the place and not really be injured too much.
I know an 11-year-old kid who's a roller skater who has the same
Same
thing.
attitude, yeah, that's right.
But so far, you do it great.
Define this up right here. So
Boy, he looks grim, doesn't he?
Kids, I mean, the kids like the dark, moody stuff. I mean,
they seem
you know,
to,
I
yeah.
mean, years ago it was something else. They liked the nice, clean costume and stuff. But today, the more armor, the more belts and buckles and straps and whatever that, basically glorified bikers. I mean,
Do you mean the kind of noble Stan Lee clean-cut type is getting passé? That's a shocking thought.
yeah, passe. I wouldn't say that. It's becoming boring to him.
All right, I think you've done enough. Hey, I'm glad you're doing a little something here, because somehow you just doing some rough lettering. I don't know, poor old
Rob's getting
Rob
his-
over there.
what are you doing
he's-
there? What are you doing there?
Right
Talk
here?
to me. Yeah.
Okay, what I'm gonna do is I want to give him some leather straps underneath. We'll make this armor right in here.
Okay.
But if I give him some leather straps up underneath it, so he's also got some leather down up behind him, so even his arms. Because see, the thing is, if we overload him or overkill him, Stan, good one. When he's working out, we'll make him sweat too. And the kids will love it. He's working hard. He's not too
The
perfect.
perspiration just gives him that much
Oh,
more
yeah,
ruggedness.
yeah.
But I have a question I've been wanting to ask you guys. How long does it take these people to get dressed, these kind of characters?
Who says
that you
they
draw?
undress?
I mean, there's something they have to get out quickly to save the world, but it takes them an hour and a half to get into all of this stuff
That's
if they
right.
work fast.
That's right, but see, this is getting into the costume is like going to the bathroom in comic book. You never show it, but you assume that Superman and Batman and Spider-Man actually do go and urinate every now and then,
You're right, but you never do show it, do you?
No.
But you do show, very often you show people getting dressed, especially women. I seem to recall that now.
Yeah, no, well, that's okay, because we got to show, they show that. I mean, how many things in the movie you see when they're drawing, or that somebody's talking to a lady and she's always getting changed for the job? I'm going.
Didn't I ever have Spider-Man go to the bathroom, come to think of it? I wonder. I've got to go reread
You
it.
gonna block that in? You gonna block that in?
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna put.
What's that little line over here?
This would be the back of his, because it's got, we're going to make it almost like wings. So to go, here's the shoulder blades, and then they come back. If we did
Does
a
he
back
fly?
view, I don't think he needs to fly.
What do you think?
He's too heavy to fly. But
No, he doesn't
Does
fly.
Rob think he flies?
He's a tank. I see him as a human tank.
and if he's going to
Walks-
fly, we would
If there's something in his way, he'll just walk around.
And if he's going to fly, we'll call him Boeing.
Walk through it.
You guys sure are tickling this. I think it's great. All right, now listen, we have about 10 more minutes, so you have a lot of time to draw the rest of them.
Okay, we can overkill this guy.
Yeah, we're gonna.
I think we're doing it, too. Anyway, it's a lot easier for
Maybe
me.
we can make Overkill Junior over
You're
here.
right there.
This is the easiest assignment I've ever had. You're doing all the work, and I just have to nod and say that's pretty cool and take the credit for it at the end. And we should do more shows like this.
Yeah, we
That's it.
should. Huh?
And since, let me see here.
I don't mind
we'll
you,
Make his, see, he's got his hand here. Robbie, we got to be holding something. So he'll be
Buddy.
holding-
What? Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's
Go
his
ahead,
side.
go ahead,
Oh,
go
no,
ahead,
you
go
go.
ahead.
I mean, you
Okay,
got a
you go.
hand over
You go.
here.
You're
You're a
right.
son of a gun. He's done a nice, complete hand. You don't want to play with
I'm
the
going to
rough
work
hand.
on this
That's too
hand right
hard,
here.
huh?
No way, I'm working on
You
this
draw
hand.
hands? Are you into hands?
Oh,
really?
yeah, I'm the best.
You do hands?
Actually, what do you think about his chest up here? I was thinking, like, maybe a
Knowing
carrot,
you, you're going to put a lot of hair on it.
No,
No.
he's
Or he's
covered.
all
He's
covered
carried.
up, is he?
He's covered. I'm gonna put some more gadgets here, like some blasters or some. I don't know.
He shoots through his chest?
Oh heck yeah! You can't get close. Boom.
Every part
his
of
whole
him
body's
is lethal,
overkill.
huh? All right.
Yeah, big gun.
We'll give him, how about if we give him, the kids all select, and I don't know how these guys run, but why don't we give them here, wires coming out here, coming down. Up.
They love
The
that
kids
stuff.
love wiring.
The wires
yeah,
that he'll
they do.
trip
Why
over
don't we-
when he's
why don't-
running.
Oh, yeah, just like the capes that they run around on.
The
They-
chains, the
Okay.
cables, the wires.
I'm gonna give him wires over here, but it's gonna be on the underside of his arm because if they were on the outside, these things would cut him, and he'd be discombobulated.
Hey, you
So-
draw good wires.
Oh,
Hey,
years
his
of
wires
practice.
are almost as good
Years
as your
of
webs.
practice.
How about, you want to give him a web or two?
No
Just
way.
to show how you draw webs?
No way, it's
No?
been
Okay.
done. It's been done. Let's rehash that. Let's give him some new stuff here.
Every time I think of you guys, I think webs for you and wires
shoulder
for
pads.
you.
You got it. Okay.
Now, what's happening to the knee? Are you giving him the same kind of knee
yeah,
as Todd
symmetry. We gotta have symmetry here, you know. If he's gonna
Okay.
give him a knee pad, we give him a knee pad. He gave him leather straps. I gave him leather straps. He's got these over here. This guy, he's got to be
did? And he's
designed
really
well.
going to be able to move with all of this
Of
stuff?
course he is.
Stan, this is comic books, bud. you got to suspend, reality for him, okay? I'm going to give him some knuckles here that are going to be like steel glove knuckles up in here. So that, again, he's all, I mean...
I don't like you saying suspend reality. I have always told myself that our comic books are really the ultimate when it comes
That's
to
what I'm doing.
reality.
Okay.
They are reality-based.
Hey, I'm gonna put some wires that like tangle differently, like around his leg. Kind of cool looking. Drives the point home that he's.
Now, that means you've got to
More
do the same on
cybernetic.
your leg. Can you
No, wait, do you
draw
want the
so
symmetry
graceful
on
a
it?
wire?
You think we should symmetry?
No,
Or make it
you can go with me
asymmetric.
on that one. You can go with
Okay,
me
I'm
on
gonna let's give him a little bit more. I don't like. We gotta have a lot of chain here. You gotta
Any chain?
usually gotta have more than one.
I put the whole chain around here.
Yep.
Okay.
Guys, do you see him as a member of a team, or do you see him as
Loner.
a loner?
Nope.
Really?
Yeah,
Then where
loner.
does he live?
Where does he live? Where you live, Stan? I think
Los
he's-
Angeles.
he's-
Where else would a person live?
This guy's out in Malibu. He's a beach bum.
You got it.
He
I know the
goes.
sun isn't going to do him much good and all that covering.
That's it. He gets sunstroke. He goes out and kills people.
Well, now, let me ask you another question. These things are vitally important, as you know. Does he have a double identity? Is he really a meek accountant in real life?
Who else could he be besides Overkill?
Well, I mean, when he takes off all these clothes, is he a
I don't.
97-pound
Do you see
weakling?
him taking this stuff off?
By the time he takes
Never,
it
no.
off, then another villain's come in because it took him 12 hours to get it off. He's into the next issue. He's got
By
to
the
put it
time he
back on.
takes it off, he's died of old age.
I say he works at a gym, like a Gold's Gym, because he'd be in such good shape taking all that steel stuff off and on.
That's how he got into
good
the
shape.
condition he's
Works for
in,
me, works-
putting his costume on and off.
Okay.
How about
It's
over
like
here?
lifting weights.
Give him like a headset or something.
Okay.
Constant contact.
Yep. On one side, see?
Yeah.
Sometimes, like a lot of people,
Yeah.
sometimes, even when they design their house and they put stuff up, they think two pictures got to be side by side. The stuff that looks cool now is when you just kind of lopside things sometimes, That
I
we got,
wondered why you walk that way.
yeah, well, the Igor, they call him.
Okay. Okay. On his right here, he's got 3 different cannons.
Oh, he's got a gun.
Okay. If he lifts it up, like his
Are they all the same millimeter?
this is a real rough fist. Okay.
Okay.
His thumb. He would have 3 different cannons
Different,
that are
okay.
facing you for the large kapui. So right here, they could be like missile launchers or whatever, but he's gonna have those right over here.
What
And
makes
this
you
guy's a
make those
live
value judgments? Why only 3? He's got 4 knuckles.
Because 3's the only number I could fit on his hand.
Yep. Just like in cartoons, 3 fingers always work
Have you
better
noticed
than
that?
4.
Have you noticed Calvin and Hobbes that they only have 3 fingers?
Yep.
Oh, you did notice it?
No, seriously,
I've
yeah.
won bar bets with that. Nobody has ever noticed it.
Okay, look at check.
I'll never ask you anything again.
Someday
You
learn your
think we're
lesson,
giving
Stan.
people the
Someday.
wrong impression that they think it's always this much fun working on new characters?
Oh, I think it's always.
They don't know about the trouble and the toil and the turmoil that goes into this.
Okay, but we're
What
gonna
is
get-
that? Is he smoking?
Oh, the smoke is billowing out of this. We're gonna get a good licensing deal on this character.
Yeah,
right?
we are.
We're going to make millions for some charity
Okay.
with this drawing.
Okay,
But it's not the drawing, it's your lettering, Todd. I mean, this lettering is absolutely
That's right, that's the
superb.
logo.
I love the way you did this.
I'm going to give him a fan on this leg here.
I wonder if I should have copyrighted this name before I gave it to you.
I don't know.
As soon as we're
my
finished, we'll all run to our lawyers quickly.
My people's already on it. Or my
Have your people call my
Yeah,
people.
Okay, soon. Okay, so there's the smoke. What are you gonna do for his legs? What do you want to do for his legs? Legs are important.
Yeah.
No more straps.
Should he wear some more ornament on his legs?
Yeah, I think so.
Holsters or
I think
something?
so.
Why don't we put rivets on him? Small rivets running up his body here.
Won't he look like a robot or something?
That's what he looks like. I
What
think
kind of rivets?
Small,
There's
tiny
still kind of
rivets.
human there.
Small, tiny rivets.
Okay.
Like, let's say you've
Do you
given us
know
a
of
line
any
right
small,
here.
big rivets?
Now that I think of it, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the rivets live next door to me. John Rivet, he's a little shrimp.
See why I love this man? I really don't know.
A wit beyond.
Okay, I'll give him the rivet, because you got to give the shadow on the downside, right there. Ah, perfect.
Okay. Rivet. Rivet.
Your rivets seem to be a little larger
Rivet.
than Todd's rivets.
No, not anymore.
Okay, finish it
No,
up.
no, I mean...
No, that's okay.
Listen, I
Bigger's
got
better.
to look like an editor, don't
Hey,
I?
hey, why don't we give him like a couple more over here too? Like give him multiple rivets.
Yep, 2.
But only on this side of the leg, on
Yep.
each side.
Okay.
You'll drive the readers
And then
crazy.
this-
Why does he have more on that side than that side?
No, no. I'm saying on each side of this leg. he'll have a rivet. So he's riveted.
Now,
I think
just
the rivets should go up to here.
For the sake of our unseen viewers, is this really the type of thought process that you guys go through when you
Yes.
create characters?
Except for we have more than 20 minutes.
This is probably longer than you usually
We do.
take.
Yeah, no, I would say the most of the time we go home, we know that we got an issue coming up, so if we're working on like issue 10, we're thinking about the guy we're going to create in issue 14. I mean, that's how I do it. So that way, when we come down to it, it's not like, I got an issue, we got to get it out, we got to create it, we got to come up with the character right off the bat.
Well, I think I've got to say seriously, which isn't easy for me to do, but I think it's very impressive that in a matter of 20 minutes you guys could come up with something like this. I mean, bad as it is, it's still impressive that you were able to do it this quickly.
Well, the name that you gave us was pretty lame. So we
Thanks,
did the
Abe.
best that we could do, bud.
All right, since you don't like it, remember, it's in my copyright.
Okay.
No way.
Thanks a lot, pal.
I get all rights
Well, look at
to
this.
the
Hey, we got to put the gun marks. I didn't do
lunch
this.
pails and to
Yeah,
the
that's
stationery and
Better
to the
already.
action figures. Yeah, that's a cool logo. That
Rob,
is really
didn't you
cool.
promise that you would draw and we would do the talking? And when you
sorry, I'm
grow
sorry.
up a little more, you know,
Okay,
we'll let you in
all
there
right,
with the
yeah.
grown-ups.
Well, my 12th birthday is coming up, guys.
Well, when you were creating characters, Stan, what was the process back then? I mean, because Rob and I right now, we do our own writing and our own drawing. We don't collaborate with anybody anymore. So
That's the problem, and I've been meaning to talk to you guys about that. No, what I would do is just, as we did just now, I would dream up a name, but then I would write a synopsis of who the character was, what his or her powers were, and where they lived, what they did, what the personality was, and then I would call whatever artist was going to work on it, and I would give it to him and give him a rough idea of a plot and say, go, you know, and turn him loose. And I always got something back from the artist that wasn't quite what I expected. It was usually better than I expected. And then I'd write the copy, and we were off and running. I loved working that way. See, with you guys, I didn't do it that way. I didn't tell you what I wanted. I just said, call him overkill.
Challenged
Tough.
us.
And I must say, you have more than lived up to the challenge. Boy, he is one grim-looking guy. There's no way this man can move.
that's how you beat him.
I think he's a statue.
That's how you beat him. You run behind him, you push him over, and he falls over, and he can't get up. He's too heavy.
What would you say he weighs?
Couple 100,000.
He's got to have a power to defy gravity, I would say, just looking at
He's
him.
a tank. I mean, what do you think of him? I think he's like a human tank. He looks like a human tank.
Now, the funniest thing would be if you say that these are jets and he's the fastest man alive.
There you go.
Now, he's got to be some sort of a rampaging savage type of guy, and his name is Overkill. And maybe a lot of the things that he's wearing on him are to restrain him, to slow him down, and to stop him when he goes on a rampage. Huh?
You've done this before.
Wow, that's good.
I swear,
That's a
it
good
just
idea.
occurred to me.
That's good.
Because with a name like that and the way you have him, we've got to justify all of this paraphernalia somehow.
Okay, Stan.
And we're always afraid if ever he can kind of break loose from those chains and that other stuff.
Okay,
then
Okay,
watch
you want to
out.
get a plot together, Stan? Rob and I are putting a good word for you up at the office if
Oh,
you
hey,
want.
would you?
Yeah, we would.
I want to tell you, I
know
would
a
love
couple
one
editors.
day to write some stuff that you guys draw, but of course you have to do it exactly the way I tell you. You have to be very subservient, very docile. My name comes first, is much
Oh,
larger.
you haven't talked to people
the
about
usual.
this yet. You haven't talked to them.
Am I in for a little
Cocky
surprise?
1 and cocky 2. Oh, yeah. We just... No way.
Well, then you'll get along well with me because I'm meek, modest, and humble. So I think
As we
we'll do
found out
just fine,
today.
as you know. Now, I think we're reaching... No, we have a few more minutes, and
Okay.
I think if we can just finish that, his
Okay.
left leg...
Well, now check this out.
Okay.
He's
What
got
do you think of the left
chainmail
leg there?
covering all the body. All the body.
Perfect.
Then he's slammed this armor over this.
Okay.
You want to leave this exposed because then that gives like an element
You
of
wanna do some,
vulnerability.
chest
So like the
hair there?
hero
Is that what you
can
want?
at least stab him right here. Right here. That's the only place they can hurt him.
Yep.
You want to? Here?
Like it. We love it.
Hey, can I just have that for a minute so
You
I
got
can
it.
say I had a hand
Yeah.
in this? I think
Do
a
the
couple
the
more-
hair, Stan.
couple more
Hair.
hairs there, huh?
Quick, go quick. Don't think about
There you
it.
go. There you go. All right, now,
we only got a
everybody
little
in the
time.
world who's watching knows that the three of us have drawn this character. It's very
right.
obvious, and I have it on tape and on record and so forth. I don't know that you're really doing my character right. That's all right, I guess, for a bunch of beginners.
That's it. Either that or we could have made him look like the Pillsbury Doughboy. That was our second choice.
I got
A little fat guy with lumps all over. It looks like a little, 6-month-old kid.
Oh my gosh, nobody's messing with this guy.
You know what, Rob?
What?
Now, we can just sit there and go over some of the things that he wants, but I think he's perfect right now.
think he's right.
We keep doing it, and we will overkill
I
him.
just want you to, we have a minute
Oh,
and a
with
half
the
or so.
foot.
I want to tighten those feet.
Okay.
All right, guys?
Okay, give him an ankle bone here, an ankle bone here. Come up here. Cut this one out. Oh, the pin's
I
wrong.
like the leather straps. That's a good idea.
Do you know something? This is so incredibly unique that we could auction this off to charities to determine which charity will get it to auction it off. I think
Jeez.
everyone will fight for this.
Here, I'm going to add some Todd bullet holes in the wall.
Okay.
You know what I think I'll do? I think I'll keep the original myself and we'll give a Xerox copy
You know
to
what-
someone to auction
There
off.
you go. You keep it there. And you know what we'll do? We even left enough room. Even though people don't like to put the big signature, we got enough room for Stan, Todd, and Rob right there.
Oh, that's sensational.
All three of us, bang, it's in and it's out. We got
Okay, I think he's done.
Robbie?
Hey,
You can
that's
be the
just
first
great.
to sign it, bud.
Now,
Oh, no,
I-
Stan goes first. Stan goes first.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'll sign it on this side because really the name was mine. I don't want to take more credit than I should. Of course, I did do a few of those chest hairs,
did
which
do, and they
are the
were
first
rather-
things that catch
were
the
very
eye
good.
because
Very
they
good,
have a
Stan.
certain personality.
Very good, Stan.
Let's see, now being left-handed, I write this way, so I'll go this way.
Stan,
Here, we gotta hit.
Lee.
Oh, wait, I forgot.
You're 91? Stan, you don't look a day over 89, bud.
you silly person.
Okay, actually, here, you want to sign this over here, Todd?
There we go. Now, that's my part of it.
Excellent, Stan Lee.
You know, it took me years to learn to spell that.
Okay.
I think it takes you longer to sign your name
Heck
than draw
yeah.
a picture. You
And
know?
it is.
That
It
is
Look at
some
this.
signature.
Oh, you can run out of room? Holy.
And
Oh,
look at
uh-oh.
this.
I'm going to put a band around mine.
What. Look at this. We got the... Dun-dun-dun-dun.
And we finished right on time, and I've got to tell you one thing. I think that everybody watching now knows why we call this series A Visit with the Comic Book Greats. You guys are terrific. Thanks a million.
Thanks, Stan.
Oh, it was really great. I hate giving this away, but I think it'll do a lot of good. And maybe we'll do a future tape sometime where we show people who got it, what was paid for it,
No, it's
and
your
we'll do a
job.
few others.
It's your job to peddle this as a movie now.
All right.
That's right.
All right. Well, that's the idea. That's the idea. So we give this to a charity, but I use it to sell a movie on the basis of it, okay?
Okay.
And if you guys play your cards right, you'll get a free ticket.
Okay. Thanks, Stan.
Okay. Good night to both of you. And thanks a lot. Hey, that's really sensational. I mean, what a job you guys did. Let me tell you, I couldn't get a good look. I'm looking upside down. That's fantastic. Yep.
I'm gonna step out, okay?
Incidentally, you guys have ruined us. We've decided to give up comics and we're going into showbiz.
Boys, I think that came out okay.
I don't understand what's going on here.
Give me a break, give me a break.
I don't understand what's going on here.
Give me a break, give me a break.
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? I don't understand. I don't understand. I'll say it again, 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 again. I said it before and I'll say it again, 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 again. I said it before and I'll say it again, 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 again. I said it before and say it again, again, again. I said it before and I'll say it again. I don't understand what's going on here.